Pricing is not strategy, it's money identity. And this is all about manifestation. So why is it so hard to charge more? You know your value. You know your work is good or your coaching is good. But when it's time to say the price, something happens. Tightness, hesitation, doubt. And here's the truth. It's not strategy. It's your money identity. If you're a creator, an entrepreneur, and you want to expand your money identity and income, make sure to subscribe and please give it a like to this video, because this channel is all about money manifestation without the fluff. So, and before we dive into this video, if you are serious about shifting your relationship with money, I've created a free 7-day money expansion reset. This is all about becoming aware so you can change your inner program around money. The link is below this video. So let me give you some context about this video here. So I got 3 things for you that shifted my life, my business, totally. And why I'm doing this video is because a few weeks ago, I was on a call, great energy, great conversation, and this guy named Jack, hello Jack, not Jack, he asked me a simple question about pricing, but it was a great question. And I've actually been thinking about that ever since. And I actually told him that I would reflect and I would post. Now I'm also doing a video around this. So my backstory, my background here, before you listen to I got 3 things for you here around pricing, around money. My backstory so you can relate to it. For many years, I was shy. I was the shy kid. I was introverted. I still am. And honestly, I was anxious, afraid of asking for anything. Maybe you can relate to that. And this is even though I was leading teams. I even built a team from zero, from the ground, up to 500 people. But I never had to sell. I never had to ask or say the price. That changed in 2012. I ended up in a $1.5 million debt after the financial crisis. I had a portfolio of 20 apartments, and everything went bananas around the financial crisis. So $1.5 million debt. And this became my turning point because different coincidences or synchronicities, I shared in another video and I will share again, but I started a cleaning company back in 2012, professional cleaning offices. And suddenly, by starting a cleaning company, I realized I had to sell. And it was terrible, like really terrible. I had no clue what I was doing. Not kidding, I had no clue what I was doing. It was awkward, uncertain, but I kept going. The pain was bigger of the $1.5 million debt. So with that in mind, I'm gonna give you 3 keys, insights around this, how I actually went from being shy, being introverted, being afraid of asking, being afraid of saying the price, to building a cleaning business with 60 people in it. I had plus thousands cleaning meetings, sales meetings. So I learned from those, and some of the prices was quite big. We ended up being 60 people in the team only because I learned how to sell. And I started coaching in 2012. My first client was, I think, around 2,500 for an 8-week program. And I built that to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7Ks. And that was people coming into not one-on-one coaching, but into a program. And I also ended up doing one-on-one coaching around, I think it was 17, 18K or something, for a 3-month one-on-one, one session a week program. So I've really learned and I've really practiced a lot. So with that in mind, here are the 3 things, my 3 insights after reflecting on this after the call with Jack. So the first one is actually reps. Reps. And what do I mean by that? I mean just meeting after meeting, offer after offer. And with time, I got better. And like I mentioned before, I was really a disaster in the beginning because it was so awkward for me. I didn't feel good about saying the price. I didn't feel good about asking for the client or the customer. So it was really awkward, like really bad in the beginning. But I improved, and some of it hurted me in my stomach, in my body. Some of them hurted me because when they came back in a way that was less polite, and some of them even laughed at me in the beginning. So it hurted me. And I remember sometimes I could actually not sleep at night because I was lying and thinking and reflecting, and my mind and some of my being kept saying, this is not your thing, Michael, just quit it. But I had a $1.5 million debt that I decided to get out of. So reps, putting in the reps, and with the reps, meeting after meeting, offer after offer, I got better. And very important from this, because I've been on calls with people, and the talent, some people says I don't have the talent, and probably I thought that too, but this is not about talent. The talent will come with the reps. And it's not about magic either, because the magic is in the reps. So for now, it's just one thing that comes to me. After doing maybe 10 meetings, I had an idea. Okay, maybe I could say this line. And I wrote the line down, and I began saying that line, and I rehearsed it, and meeting after meeting, I said that line, and I brought more and more energy and power into that line. And people, I saw it when I had the meeting and I said that line, people were looking at me like, wow, this guy, that Michael sitting there, I want to do business with that guy. But it didn't come like magic, a little bit maybe, but it came after doing the reps. So just repetition. And I think my insight here, which I invite to you, is that confidence didn't come first. I'll say that again. Confidence didn't come first. Reps came first. And doing more and more reps, I'm doing like push-ups, but doing more and more reps, with the reps, confidence came. So I had to go through some pretty tough times sometimes because I didn't feel like this was my calling. Just some kind of fear like speaking inside of me. Yaggity, 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 yaggity. You probably know that little voice. But with time, I got confident. And with that confidence, when I showed up at sales meetings, when I was in my greatest energy, I was kind of like, cow, whoo, not like hunting them or anything, but just by energy. And they told me meeting after meeting, wow, Michael, that energy of yours. But it came with confidence, and that confidence came from the reps and then improving rep by rep. So that was the first one, doing the reps. So, and what I meant when this video is very much about the pricing. So with the reps too, I'm coming to this in the second part, key here, learning. With the reps and the confidence, it got easier. So it also got easier to ask for higher prices. And this is not about cheating. It's not about manipulating people. No, it was about me actually creating a business that could pay the salaries to my cleaners and my salespeople and the bookkeeper and things like that. So many business people, they create a team, but they don't have the money because they don't ask for the prices. That doesn't serve anyone, right? So let's go to the next one. The second insight was results. And the three insights here, they come together because what I saw, and this goes with the cleaning business, but also my coaching business. So let's start with the cleaning business. When we got feedback from our customers, we had a system for that. I had a system for that. I called them up a month after saying, hey, how's it going? And we did our best to make sure that we got the greatest kind of feedback. And when we got that, those kind of feedback helped me because I could share that to new potential customers. So if that makes sense, it kind of built my confidence, but also if I was on a meeting and I could say, I just had a call with this woman from this big brand. We had some pretty big international brands in my country. I just had a call with Daisy from this brand, and she just told me she is so amazed after the first month how our cleaners are just doing the best, and it all the time it smells so good, it looks so clean. Her team is coming to her and saying, thank you for shifting to this new cleaning business. It's just so nice to come in and work. When I said things like that, and it was true, honest things like that, would you believe me when I say it got easier and easier to actually sign new clients, customers in the cleaning business? So results helped build the confidence. And also, if I stay with the cleaning business for a moment, when again, we had some international big brands. So when I told that we have just got this message, I just had a call with this big brand. It's a luxury brand, and they were just so satisfied. So when I was in the next meeting and I told this luxury brand, it was easier to ask for the right price, because in the potential customer's mind, they heard that brand, which was true. And that was like, wow, not bad. All right. Now, as a coach, because I did coach, my first client was back in 2012. A couple of years later, after I've built my team and my business, and it grew and it doubled and doubled and doubled, I started doing business coaching. And my first program, I believe that was around 3K, and then 4, 5K, and it went on 6, 7, maybe even 8K. And that, I've been on some calls the last couple of weeks with both coaches and business owners, and they asked about that because they want to do the same. And one thing, Jack's question helped me when I reflected about the pricing was, as clients, when I help business owners grow their business, it became easier for me to say the price of this high-ticket coaching that I gave. So as an example, in the beginning, I had people, when I worked with them one-on-one, that made like 30, 40, 50K in 8 weeks. Now, not startup companies, but companies that was experienced, but that didn't know how to grow. So 30, 40, 50K in 8 weeks. And when I had some of those, does it make sense that my identity, my money identity, my pricing identity, my business owner identity, my success identity became easier to say it's a 4 or 5K program? Because Thomas just did 45K in 8 weeks. 5K is not that much to do 45Ks, right? I also had clients that I helped do 100K or 200K or 300 or 400K in a couple of months. I even had clients going into the millions. And I think, I'm not sure, but one of the records was around 20 million in new sales, in new revenue. This was in some months. But the key line here is, at that point, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, even 20K is not that much. Makes sense? If one person made $1 million from the coaching, it's not that much to ask for 20K. Makes sense? So, and again, this comes together with the reps, because only with the reps, only with getting in new customers and clients and beginning to work with these things, well, with that, we get the testimonials, we get the experience, and we build the confidence. We expand the identity of that coach or that mentor or that business owner who grows, expands, and is getting easier and easier to ask for the price, and even a higher price. So I wrote a post about this, and in that post I said something like, at that point, 5K is not expensive, it's logical. So that's kind of like an invitation to think about that. If you want to build a business, and if you want to make sure that you are doing very good with that business, make sure that, at least from my experience, that your price makes sense to the customer and or client. And the more that you can bring up some of these things, and also their tangible results, it's going to help new clients or customers to say yes, right? So, and again, I'm just going to mention this again, because in our community, which is very much about money identity expansion, I'm going to very soon do something around this pricing and money and how to expand your money identity. It's all starting with this 7-day challenge that I built. This challenge is something very different, because it's not about hushing and pushing. It's actually about going inward and begin to learn what's going on the inside, to begin to understand one's programming around success and money. And again, if you want to be part of that, the link is below this video. So the third thing that I reflected around after Jack's question, the third thing, which I believe might be one of the most important things here, they all come together. This third thing is around personal investment, my third insight. And this is a very, very strong one. I would say this changed everything for me, because, as mentioned, in 2012, I was in a $1.5 million debt. That's a lot of money, personal debt. I decided to work my way out of the debt. I decided to solve the debt, and I ended up solving it. Even though I was in a $1.5 million debt, in 2012, I invested in my first business coach. And I do believe the program was around $2,500 for 6 weeks or something like that. I was in $1.5 million debt, and I invested $2,500 in my first coach. And it helped me so much. I began to understand that I had so many limiting beliefs, that my money identity was limited because I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to ask for the price. I didn't know how to structure the business, all of these things. Now, my investment, the 2,500 in a coach, I kept investing. So in the same coach, I kept investing month after month, year after year. And we went together for 4 years. He was my coach, helping me build my business to 60 people and at the end sell it. So I kept investing in my own learnings, growing, expansion, and also as an accountability partner or coach. But not only that, I invested in more coaches and more mentors, and I paid 5, I paid 6, 7, 8, 9Ks. I even paid something like 17 or 18K a month, $18,000 a month for a mentor. And my third insight here is that as I did these things, my money identity shifted, my mindset shifted. And this is my core message here, because the more that I was willing to invest, the easier it became to charge. And I see kind of like a what do you call this? A scale, a balance, like balance. So the energy matched. And this is kind of like like I say, a core message in all of this is this, that if you want to charge 3, 4, 5K, but you are not willing to invest 3, 4, 5K or more, energy-wise, from my learnings, this is my learnings, right? There's an unbalance, right? I don't want to invest, but I want others to invest in me. Makes sense? I'm going to say this again because this is so powerful, and maybe even this stirs something up inside of you. Then go take the 7-day challenge with me, because then you'll understand what it is that's going on inside. That thing that is going on inside is the thing that's hindering you. So I'll say it again. I don't want to invest 3, 4, 5K, or I can't. I think my mind says I can't invest 3, 4, 5K, but I want to attract clients that want to pay me 3, 4, 5K in balance, right? For me, when I invested my first $2,500 US, it was kind of easy for me to say to the first person who said, Michael, can you coach me? And I said, yes, it's going to cost $2,500. That was balance in the energy for me. Make sense? So I really hope this is kind of like the core thing for me, because this is an energy thing, but it's also an inner program thing. And for many people, what I've experienced is that they might not believe in this, and that's totally okay. Again, I'm coming from my truth, from my experience. And I can also say an example that comes now before we go to the deep truth in this, that I was at an event and 3 people signed off to have I did an event of speaking for 45 minutes. 3 people signed up to have a coaching call with me. And I said, honestly, this is about a coaching. I help people, I help entrepreneurs with scaling their business. That's what I've been doing for so many years. So if you're serious about that, and if you want my help, it's a big program, sign up for a session and we can have a call. I can understand you. And if we are a match, well, we can start working together. One of the 3 didn't show up. So there was 2 back. Now we've got balloons here. Second of the 3 signed up, but then within a couple of hours came back and said, oh, I don't dare to, I don't have the money, I'm not sure if you can help me, and all of this. And I've presented all of the testimonials, or at least how many I've helped with how much. And I ended up giving that person the money back. I don't want to work with a person like that who's not ready to commit. Now the third person, And that was actually the highest program. That was an experienced business owner with a 10 people, I think, or 20 people team around him, an electrician. He signed up, and that was maybe like a 4 or 5K a month for a one-on-one session. He signed up without thinking about it. He said, I'm in, let's do it. He signed up on the call. We have some papers he needed to put his signature on, and we set up the first call. Now, guess what happened for this guy? A couple of months after, he signed his biggest deal ever to the company. And not even that, he made a record. The first time his company had ever gone through a certain amount of revenue. So he was just like, he escalated, he expanded his money identity. And the two other ones, the one I didn't hear from, balloons again, the one I didn't hear from, I don't know what happened. The second one, nothing happened. Same thing, stayed at the same level. It's true. It's true. True stories. So the deep truth here, this is my kind of the manifestation angle in this video. Went a bit longer here, but this is really where I see money manifestation is coming in, because pricing is not just a strategy. Pricing to me is identity. What do I mean by that? I mean, yes, strategies do help. Yes, that line did help, but that line would do nothing if I hadn't done the calls or the meetings. So I got some bullets here that I kind of want to end this with. So this is like, the identity is what level you play at. And you can ask yourself these questions. What level do I play at? Do I play at the professional level, or do I play at the minor league or whatever it's called? Do I play at the A level or the F level? Ask yourself these questions. I had to go through this myself, and it hurt a little. It hurt a little. And also ask yourself, what do I normalize? Because this is about what the nervous system accepts. If I normalize that not having enough money from my business to pay my people, that's going to be the normalization. And I know a lot of business owners has this problem that they don't have enough money by the end of the month, even though there's a lot of money coming in. And that sets the nervous system. That's kind of, okay, that's the level I'm at. So the key line here is that your income cannot consistently exceed your identity, which means you have to expand your money identity. Consequence of this, so what happens? For most people, what happens is that they undercharge. They undercharge, or they don't ask for the sales. They don't ask for it, or they are not confident asking for it. Many people over-explain. I've heard this again and again and again. I've done seminars, and I've helped so many people, and I've seen so many people in seminars how they do their sales pitch, and they explain and they explain and they explain. I did the opposite when I did meetings, and when I'm doing it today, I listen. I listen, because that's where it all is. It's not what I'm saying, it's what the person that I'm speaking with is saying. But over-explaining can come. Yes, there's strategies in this, but it can come. We have to expand our money identity here. And also people add bonuses and bonuses and bonuses. I've seen this again and again and again too. And this is also kind of like, yes, bonus can be a good thing. And I know that there are mentors speaking around this. I didn't use bonuses for any of the things that I did, that I told you about in this video. No bonuses for any of this. And I'm not saying that I will not do or can't do bonuses or anything, but the thing is just, if your money identity, if you expand to the level that you want to, you rise to that level or expand to that level. Like I said, this is the balanced thing. So if you are at this level and your energy is at this level, your confidence is at this level, and you know that you can help that person, and that person is here, It's not about you coming down here. It's actually about you staying here and that person want to go up here. That's the level of matching energies. That's what I did with my coaches. I wanted to become like that coach of mine who I paid that 7 or 18,000 or what it was per month. I wanted to get that energy to me. I wanted my identity to expand to that level. Makes sense? And also one thing that I've seen again and again and again is that people, they discount. So they say, oh, you don't want it. Okay, I give you a discount. You can get it cheaper. I just want that customer. But the problem is, and I saw this with business owners again and again and again, they lower their prices to get the customer. But by the end of the month, yes, they have the customer, but they don't have money enough to pay for their team. So we got to be very conscious around that. And again, these things are not because for most people that they don't know strategies. Yes, there might be a little bit of things that they need to be reminded of, but it's not that much about strategies. It's about identities that needs to be expanded. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this helps. And again, if you want to step more into this, if you want to step more into how to expand your money identity, not that much about strategies, but a lot about identity. We have a community. We're close to 100 now, and it's been built totally organically. You're more than welcome to join us if you're a business owner, creator, coach, a mentor, and you just want to expand. You want more success, more money, more joy in your life. And also, we got this 7-day manifestation reset challenge, and both of them are for free. So just come join us if you think this is good. You can read more about it in the link below this video. So that's it for this one. I look forward to connect with you. So please do share something in the comments around what your learnings are from this video. This is my true and raw stories that I'm sharing, and I love sharing and I love hearing from you. See you in the next one.